Welcome to Iowa Soybean Association's The State of Soy. I'm your host, Katie James. We come to you today from Big Creek State Park near Polk City. Just as the prairie grass changes colors and autumn temperatures cool the waters, farmers are starting to ready for Harvest 2020. In this episode of The State of Soy, we take a look at this year's unique growing season with practical research applications from Beck's hybrids. We also dive into a monumental policy announcement that will lead to more efficient soybean exports. Then, we head to Story City to check in on a soybean farmer who embodies what it means to innovate and do more with less. Speaking of doing more with less, we'll show you how this year's 4-hour virtual field day will prove valuable for your operation. And don't click away until you see biodiesel and Iowa Nice in action for this month's Through the Lens. This year's planting season was a record breaker. Near ideal field conditions, adequate sun and rain, and seeds in the ground sooner than ever before. Scott Beck with Beck's Hybrids shares what they're seeing in soybean fields around the state and how their practical farm research can assist farmers from start to finish. Early preparation and forward thinking can prevent a host of soybean ailments no matter what time of year.
You know, one of the things that we do as a seed company is we provide as many tools in the toolbox to help that soybean stand get established as quickly and as uniformly as possible. A number of farmers are challenged with glyphosate-resistant weeds, or whether it could be another herbicide that their weeds are tolerant to. The best way to not have herbicide-tolerant weeds is to not let the weeds emerge to begin with. And so we talk about power in the pre, putting more emphasis around farmers selecting the herbicides and getting them applied early in the season, prior to emergence. That keeps weeds from even having the opportunity to get resistance. When we look at the platforms that farmers have to choose from in terms of the trait platforms, the highest yielding platform over the last few years has been the Extend system with the Roundup Ready trait. Coming this next year is that same Extend platform with the addition of Liberty Tolerance, and that's called Extend Flex. And so our best recommendation is that farmers start off clean on the front side with doing a pre-emergent herbicide program that may mean they don't even have to spray post-applied. But if they do, then having the power of Extend Flex gives them the option of glyphosate, if they want to continue to use glyphosate, or Liberty, or even a dicamba product as well. When we go to in-season, how we can help farmers is our practical farm research team has identified that fungicide applications at the R3 growth stage are generally going to give a positive return on investment. We've seen that multiple years in a row. You know, that is one aspect that we can also introduce to farmers as a way to help improve their profitability. From an agronomic side, you know, we know that soybean cyst nematode and sudden death syndrome account for about half of the yield losses for soybean farmers each year. That's an average over the last 5 years. The things that we're doing are to add treatment on the seed, a couple of modes of action for soybean cyst nematode and also sudden death syndrome that makes it possible for farmers to weather through that to deal effectively with those number 1 and number 2 yield robbers for soybean farmers. And the SDS Plus also has an additional component for white mold protection, and so that's another disease that when it hits, boy, it can really take yields down, 50% or more. The other thing I think is just, making sure you're selecting the highest yielding platforms, those high yielding genetics and those alternatives for weed control management. We know that more farmers, not all farmers, but more of them are using digital information. Okay, so we're building a platform that will allow us to take the things that we've learned in our practical farm research and share that with farmers so that they can do in-season applications to improve their bottom line. Making actionable insights that farmers can utilize in season to help make the best of whatever crop they got planted. Farmers need to be particularly paying attention to their costs, to their balance sheet, to understanding where they need to get help, and we want to be there to help provide that. I really enjoy working with our people. We have a great team of folks that love what they do, love to see the light bulbs turn on with farmers. Yeah, farmer says, I can do that, I can use that. Finding ways to help farmers succeed, and that's what I love to see.